Aloha and welcome back. Thank you for joining me. This is Natasha. So I'm feeling a lot better than I did on last video. So I'm just going to do some tags real quick. It's a quick and easy gift tag for those last minute Christmas presents. So I'm using this designer tags from Paper Studio, I believe. And so there's 5 designs in this little packet that I had gotten. I'm just going to real quick breeze through and show you some of the designs. They're really, really cute tags. So we have the first design. It kind of just reminds me of like school papers, you know, different styles of school papers. So the first one kind of look like a binder paper or ruled paper. This one here looks like ruled paper. One looked like a grid paper. And then there's last two have, one has numbers, and then the other one, this is a grid paper. Okay. So I'm going to be using the grid paper one, that last one on the left. I'm going to be using that one for my tags today. So taking the first one, I did take some of those stickers that came with the Simon Says stamp kit that came in this month's card kit. Okay, so I added some of my, you see my powder tool up there. And that little tool is my embossing buddy. It's filled with powder. And I just used that powder to take the stickiness off the backing of the stickers so I could fiddle around with it on my placement. So using that stamp set, the Swell Christmas, I'm going to be taking my Tim Holtz stamp platform, making sure it's on the correct side, placing my tag on the inside of my stamp platform, putting my magnets there to hold it in place. Sorry, I'm a little off camera there. I'm going to be using the Distress Oxide Festive Berries to be stamping down my sentiment. Okay, so I'm going to swing the door over, stamp it the first time, and you're going to see I didn't get, I'm missing a little bit of the wishes on the bottom part, that bottom piece there. So I just ink up the sentiment again, since everything's in the same exact place, swing that door over, and I get a perfect placement, perfect stamp. That's what I love about stamping positioners. Okay, so then I'm just going to take these stickers. Now since I took all the tackiness off it, I have to add glue. So I'm taking some matte multi-medium, taking my tweezers so I could place it just where I want it to be. And then I put some foam adhesive on the little Christmas tree. I'm going to pop that guy up. Taking the Jack-in-a-Box, I did put some matte multi-medium on that one. I'm going to just do placement, put my little Jack-in-a-Box behind the tree, and then add my Christmas tree in front of the Jack-in-a-Box. Okay, and then I take and I add some Distress ink. I'm going to take the Vintage Photo, and I'm not really going to dab into that Distress ink. I'm just going to take whatever is left on my blending tool, and I'm just going to blend the edges of my tag. Okay, and I added some glitter snowflakes, the greenish blue colored glittered snowflakes, and then taking my Nouveau Drops in clear, I'm going to be adding that to my ornaments on the tree. And you're going to see here, I apply the Nouveau Drops, and it is going to look kind of creamy-ish or like milky. That is the sign that the product is wet. When it dries, it becomes completely clear. So you know when it's dry is when it's not that milky color anymore. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Using that same grid tag, I pulled out my craft mat, my white craft mat, because I'm going to be doing some blending. And so I'm taking Distress inks, and I'm going down first with, I went down with Ice Spruce first. Then I'm coming in with some Hickory Smoke. I'm going to be adding that over, blending it out between the two colors, and then coming in with some blueprint sketch. Okay, And so I dried the panel a little bit because it was a little damp from the inks. And now I'm taking some white gesso, adding a little bit of water, and I'm going to be flicking it on to my tag to make it look like snow falling. Okay. This is doing a splatter test. So I'm just going to flick it off of my finger here. Making sure I have it at the right consistency that it will start splattering. If you don't add enough water, it won't really splatter. It'll just be like blobs that fall onto your paper. So have the right combination of water with paint. Okay, so I'm just going to do that to the whole tag here. It's starting to look really snowy, like a snowy sky. Okay, I'm going to put that on the side. Then I'm going to use this iridescent watercolor ink. I just love it, and it sits on my desk to remind myself to use it whenever I get the chance. So adding a little water to that, using my paintbrush again, I'm going to do the same exact technique. So I'm just flicking it on here. It's going to give a real subtle shimmer effect. So there it's wet still, and I'm going to just hit it with my heat tool to dry it up. Okay, so off camera, I made all these little trees. So I have a die cut that die cuts 2 different sizes of trees with a different design on it. And so I cut them out and placed them onto I cut out a black piece and then a colored top piece. So I just attached them together with some glue, and I'm going to be using that to put onto my panel here. Excuse me. And so here's the trees. I'm going to be attaching them with some liquid adhesive. And just doing a nice cluster at the bottom of this tag. And it is a tag, so I do like the kind of hanging off a little bit on one side or on both sides a little bit. So gives it that little bit of dimension coming off the card. So the little middle, I have a little tiny middle Christmas tree. Sorry, I said 2 sizes, but it comes with 3 sizes. The larger, medium, and then this really small tree. So I just popped that small tree up with some foam adhesive, and then I'm adding behind the first layer of trees, I'm adding another round of trees. So it just looks like a cluster of like Christmas trees or like in the woods with some pine trees. Okay, and then I took a little strip of white paper. I heat embossed Merry Christmas with some gold embossing powder. And I'm just going to add some foam adhesive to that. And I'm going to pop that up on the top left-hand side. And that will be the second tag. So these tags are real quick, simple, easy. Doesn't take much time. And it's just simple stuff to pop on presents at the last minute. Okay. I'm just trimming off that overhang there already. And that's it. Beautiful, simple, done. Let's move on to the last example I have here. So I'm taking a piece of pattern paper. I have this tags die cut from My Favorite Things. There it is. Yeah, My Favorite Things. It's the stitched tags die. So I'm taking like the second to the largest size. I'm going to run that through my Big Shot, placing that between my cutting plates. Okay, and then I also, after I ran it through, I put a hole punch to the tag to give it a spot for the ribbon to go through. Okay, so taking the vintage photo, I am gonna ink around the corners, give it kind of like a vintage feel. Taking my Nouveau drops in this gold, I'm gonna be adding that for a little bit of dimension to the center of these little patterns that you see on this green paper here. Okay, so I took another sticker from that sticker pad. I took vintage photo around the edges of that, and then I added some red foil to the berries and then popped that up in the center there of my green tag, and that is that tag. Okay, and so here we go. Now you can see it's not milky colored anymore on the ornaments. It is clear, so it's dry. Okay, I'm going to show you real quick the 3 tags that I made. Simple, easy, quick. I'm going to show you how I just put the ribbon in. So I'm taking some green ribbon. I'm going to place it through the hole. I took the middle part of the ribbon. I'm going to pull through the 2 ends. Pull it tight. Make sure it's snug on there. And then trim off a little bit of the top. And that, my friends, is it. So thanks so much for stopping by. Real quick little tutorial of how to make some real fun, easy, beautiful handmade tags. So stay tuned. I will catch you on the next video. I'm going to try to post another video before Christmas. Mahalo for watching.